Good evening, ladies and gents. As you are coming in, if you can see my screen and you can hear my voice, please do raise your hand in the Zoom application, so that we know that we're in business. If you can see my screen, and if you can see my screen and you can hear my voice, please raise your hand in the Zoom application. I am not seeing hands coming in. There you go. Thank you, Loretta. Evening, ladies and gents, Njabulo Nsibande here. It is the 25th of August, 2021. Simon Brown, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, he's going to be away for a few more weeks. He got stopped out of his NASDAQ position at a good profit. I think it was about 325. Yeah, somewhere there's about 350, somewhere there's about. He had mentioned to me last week. I just forgot to mention it in last week's webinar. Some updates. I got stopped today on Discam. The stock completely collapsed today, taking out that low. I had my low just below the bullish engulfing candle there, just below the 50-period exponential moving average. I got stopped in that position. I could see the stock coming back to test the 200-day exponential moving average around the 26 odd rand. But we'll see how that develops over the next few weeks or so. But for now, we'll wait on the sidelines. I suppose I'll wait for, at the moment, I'll wait for a close back above 32.37. I think we could see the stock fall some more. I have no idea why it fell. I just know that I don't like holding stocks that fall off a cliff. I also got stopped on the. I tried to build a position here on African Rainbow. I got stopped on it. The market collapsed quite quickly. I had my stop just below those lows there. So it looks like it's still holding that 200-day exponential moving average, but generally the commodity stocks have been hit quite hard. Commodities and PGMs have been hit quite hard over the past week or so in the market. But African Rainbow at the minute looking like it's holding that 200-day exponential moving average. Let's see if it can jump back. But I think I would hold off in buying more of African Rainbow until back above that 305 highs, because that 304 to 60 range could last for quite some time, and I don't want to be holding a dead stock. So at the minute, I'll just be waiting for a close through that 305 level. Also got stopped on platinum. As I said, resources aren't seeing. They had their time in the sun, but the times seemingly have come to an end. I got stopped as the market broke back below the 200 exponential moving average. I'll also be waiting for a close back above 252, or there's about anywhere below that. I'm not quite interested in the stock at that moment. Sasol, I got stopped on results day, which was I was quite weird, because I thought the results were quite strong, but nonetheless, I got stopped nonetheless, and you can't argue with the markets. So now I'll just be waiting for a close back above 233. If we can close back above 233, I'll start rebuilding this position and add again above 251. So if we can get through 233, I'll just jump back in with a stop loss just below the 200 exponential moving average around 194.10. I also got stopped on Richmond. It is coming back to below the 50-day exponential moving average. So I want it back above 177. If it does, move back above 171, I'll just jump back in. I'll jump back in. I'll rebuild this position with a stop loss around the 161 level. And that's pretty much all the updates. These we did cover last week, I believe. Did we cover Kumba? I got stopped in Kumba on the ex-div day. I thought I moved my stop well far enough, but seemingly not. But still holding that longer term trend line, which is looking quite healthy. So if the stock closes back above 679, I'll jump back into the trade with my initial stop loss just below that swing low there, just below the 200 period exponential moving average. I did get, however, get a dividend. So my loss was around break even, which is quite, I suppose, quite disappointing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Coming back to my open positions, I added quite a few today, and upside starting to look quite good again. But for now, I'll just be wait. I have enough to certify my greed at the moment. So just wait for it to close above these 165 level, and then I'll add to my position, raising my stop behind me as usual. Aspen, nice potential golfing candle. Today, as it breaks back and as it breaks into a higher box, we did test it for a few days this week, but today we're starting to see the stock move decisively into the higher box. So I did raise my stop to that 180 level. After which I will add to my position. I'm adding to my position, I believe. Let me get a journal. I'm on 88 shares at the open tomorrow with a stop loss there at 180. Hello world, still forming that ascending triangle pattern. So I'm just waiting for a close above that 110 level, at which point I'll add it to my position and raise my stop to around that 104.60, just below the 200 exponential moving average. I think above 124 we could see the stock really move. BHP is one of the only few, if not the only one, commodity stock that I did not get stopped out of. I suppose my stop loss was far enough. So when the stock breaks back above the 491 level, I'll add to my position, raising my stop to just below that swing low there. Commodities, we'll see if they'll still have their day in the sun in the commodity cycle, as it were. Bitcoin also looking quite good, holding that 50 period exponential moving average quite nicely, testing it, but not really closing below it. So if the stock closes back above that 331, 72, I'll add to my position, raising my stop to 309. And at the moment, that looks quite probable that it could happen over, I suppose next week or so. But we'll see how the market behaves between now and then. Bidvest looking quite well, holding that 50-day exponential moving average. Seeing a fair bit of selling happening at the resistance there at around the 204-ish level. But I'm waiting for a close above that that resistance there above 211, at which point I'll add to my position, raising my stop to around just below these lows here, around 137, I suppose. To give it a slight bit more room, just around that 195-ish level. Capitec has been making new highs. It made a new high yesterday. I added to my position this morning, raising my stop to so just added just one share today, raising my stop to 1780. Sitting in the green at the moment in the trade. So the risk I have right here is about 1.72, I think. Of course, that will reduce by 1.5%. By this trade that I took today. Clicks still looking like it's still between the boxes at the moment, but looking quite healthy to make new highs again. So we'll see. I'm just going to be just waiting, for other entry points as it dances around the higher box. At the moment, if it powers through quite quickly, I'll be just waiting for close above 327. Otherwise, I'll just be waiting for full price action to see where I could add to my position. Because it's quite some range, man. I think it's about a little over 13 rand. I think math not working quite well. But yeah, it is quite a range. I'm sure I'll find another entry in between the spots. Distal held it was starting to look like Distal was running out of steam, running out of legs, because it did run quite a bit. But holding that 50-day exponential moving average quite well. Perhaps the results on Friday will push the stocks one direction or the other. Maybe we'll get a hint on around the Heineken deal happening. The impact of their debt reduction from last year, and obviously with them opening for much more days. Than in the prior year. So we could see quite a strong results from Distal. But I'm just waiting for a break above 174, 173, and then I'll raise my stop to just below the 50-day exponential moving average. And as mentioned earlier, I'll only be adding to this position once my stop loss is above my last entry point. I'm just going to be trading my stop without adding to my position at this current point in time. Exalo also took its fair share of beating when the resources stocks were taking a beating, but holding that 50-day exponential moving average. Today, nice doji yesterday with the bullish engulfing today. Let's wait to see if we will eventually close through that 185 level. If we do, I will add to my position, raising my stop search at 167.80 level. First rundown, going nowhere slowly at the minute. I'm waiting for a close above that 62.60 level, at which point I'll raise my stop to 57.42. The banks at the moment are moving quite nicely. The banks are moving quite strong. I suppose they did show their robustness and strength in the companies themselves by surviving. Coming out the other side of the pandemic. Not that we through the pandemic, but coming out the worst side of the pandemic, I suppose, quite healthy. Glencore looking quite nice. Also holding that 50-period exponential moving average. So above that 69 rand level, suppose around 70 rand. I'll add to my position, raising my stop to just below that gap there. We did have a gap and drive, followed by 3 white soldiers, looking like a jam as Glencore. So with the close above, it's 69 rand. I suppose around 70 rand. I'll add to my position, raising my stop to just below the low of the gapping candle there. Investec, it's stumbling itself in the higher box. I'm waiting for that 62.78 level. We are not very far from it. But I can see the stock coming back to suppose retest the base of the current box. At which point, if it breaks back higher, I'll add it to my position and raise my stop ever so slightly to just below those lows there. And I'll also just be waiting for the close through that 62.78 level with a stop loss around, let me just zoom in a little bit, around that 56 Rand 50 level. Life healthcare looks like the resistance there around that 24.50 levels is still holding. I did add to my position. We closed above it ever so slightly with a doji there, but I wasn't too concerned about that. So I'm just waiting for a close through the 25.74 level. I suppose if I'm not sure when the results are coming out, but these stocks that that look like they've run out of steam, like the laser starting to run out. I'm just waiting for results to see how they will affect the stock, will power the stock one direction or the other. But above that 25 to 74 level, I'll add to my position, raise my stop loss to just below that 50-day exponential moving average, just below that traffic there, where buyers and sellers were kind of agreeing on the price on the stock at the minute. Momentum, staying on the right side of, there's still a bit of tug of war between buyers and sellers around the 50-day exponential moving average, but momentum staying on the right side of the moving average. So I'm waiting for close through 20 Rand 42 and 20 Rand 84 to add to my position, raising my stop ever so slightly to the 1890 level. Monday, moving like a jam. I'm waiting for that. I believe that level came from the boxes. Yes. It does look like the boxes. I closed through the 390, 439, my bad, level. Let me just redraw these boxes. I just get myself a triangle there. A rectangle rather, top of that range. So yeah, I'll just wait for a close through 433. Looks like a much better place, as decided by these boxes of mine, with a stop loss just below the 50-day exponential moving average around 402, but I could make it a little bit tighter, I suppose, around that 411 level. But let's see how long this level remains untouched by the stock between now and its closing above 433, if at all it does. Mr. Price also holding that 50-day exponential moving average quite nicely, just touching it with its lows there. Want to start back above the 241 level, at which point I'm looking to add to my position. I'm not 100% sure at the moment where I will then pull my stop loss to, but I suppose just below that green candle there. We'll see between now and the market closing above 241 if I don't get stopped out between now and then. Mr. Price looks like it's also taking a breather. It did have quite a run, especially after the results was announced, and they deal with that venture with Sanlam, that fintech venture. So I'm waiting for close through above those highs there, above that 139 level. If you can get it close to 139, I'll raise my stop to that 126 level and add to my position. I'll be in quite some good profits at that point. Bank saw quite a fair bit of selling, but holding the 50-day exponential moving average, which is a nice bullish engulfing candle there. So I'm waiting for a close above 188, above that high close there, at which point I'll add to my position with a stop loss around that 164, 167 level, as the stocks move back higher on Nedbank. Netk moving quite nicely, waiting for a close above those high close there, around that 1692 level, at which point I'll raise my stop to 1560 and add to my position. Mutual, I'm still battling, retesting that 1478 level. 1478 resistance level there. If we can break through that level, I'm going to add to my position and raise my stop to around the 1360 level or around that 1380 level. I'll see how the market looks like when it does break above. It's been making higher highs and it had its golden cross. So and if we can break through that 1670 level, there's quite a fair bit of runway for the stock to run to. So we'll see above that if we can get it close through 1470. Tyler is asking, do I think Old Mutual will get to, let me just go back to, it's already above 14. It's above 1453. I suppose you meant 15. If you have meant 15, I think it will. I think it definitely will, and quite easily. I think we're going to break 1475 and close through 15 quite easily. Yeah, that's what I thought. I did think that you meant 15. I think we will cross 15 quite comfortably. Possibly tomorrow, or over the next few days. But I think we will pass through 15 quite easily. Let's see how that 1478 resistance level holds up. Pepco was stopped on its tracks as it was entering the higher box. So at the moment, let's wait and see where the swing low ends up at. If it comes back above 23, I'll add to my position with my stop loss below the swing low, which at the moment around 2150 would feel safe. But let's see how far the stock falls from breaking back to below this to below the lower box, as it were. Remgro. So Remgro starting to move higher ever so slowly. Just waiting for close through 123.95, at which point I'll add to my position. But also waiting to see how the market is taking care of itself around the current 118. Let's see if 118 holds up. Let's see for how long it does. But at the moment, I'm interested in that 123.95 level. Sanlam, nice ascending triangle pattern. I just started building, my position as the stock breaks back above the 50, 200-day and 50-day exponential moving average with a nice tight stop. So I want to see. Let's see if we can get through 49.92. If we can get above 49.92, I'll add it to my position and raise my stop to 61.37. which would be quite great because right off the bat, I'm just moving into profitability and risk-free trades. I like those kind of trades, but let's see how it pans out. Shoprite moving like a gem at the back of strong results they published the other day. I believe it was yesterday or the day before, can't remember. But it was quite some stellar results there. So if you can close back above, if can start, if Shoprite can move into that higher 183 bucks, I'll add to my position. We did test it as we were making a new 52-week high yesterday. So if you can close, I want to close through. If you can close above 183.84, I'll add to my position with a stop loss just below the low of the gap in candle. We did have a gap and drive as it was moving to a higher box. I'm liking the movement in ShopRite at the moment. Nsibande as well, holding ground, came bitterly close from stopping me out. Now, I always enjoy it when my stop loss comes quite close from being stopped. So the low was 54.70. So it missed my stop loss by 10 cents. Literally by 10 cents. It came bitterly close to stopping me out. So let's see how if we can close back above 64.60. I'm going to add to my position, and at the moment I'm not quite certain where I'm going to put my stop loss because this market isn't liking Nsibande at the moment. So I want the stock to start to show signs of moving higher before I can look for targets for my stop loss. Standard Bank, in terms of breakouts, it was a little bit of a lagger with the banks. So I waited for a much higher level, and I was comfortable with that wait because I already had quite a fair bit of exposure to the banks in my portfolio already. So I could afford to wait for Standard Bank to come towards me at a much higher price. So yeah, moving quite nicely. So I'm gonna wait to see how it reacts around the 169, but I'm pretty sure I will get a much better level to add to my position to raise my stop to around that 133 level. Let's see how it behaves between. But if there's quite a bit of momentum in the market between now and then, I'll just get in above that 169 level because you never know what would happen in the markets. Finally, Transition Capital closes above the 38 level, which I was waiting for since I was riding the trend higher there before I got stopped out as it was closing below that 50-day exponential moving average. Thank you, Tyler. Tyler is saying nice buy on Transaction Capital on the 5th. So yeah, I've been rebuilding this position. I did. It was one of the I think at the moment in the closed trades, it's the biggest return, the biggest trade, returning at about 20% of the portfolio. It was quite a trade that was. It did contribute. It did move a needle quite a bit. So it finally closed above at 38.40 yesterday, and I think we're staying above it today. It did stay above it today. So now I'm going to be waiting for a close above 41 Rand, which is it's not necessarily quite too far, but we'll see if this market is really breaking, if it's really serious about making new highs on Transaction Capital. We did have a new high today, which is quite positive. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to get another entry to raise my stop, supposed to just below that low there. But we'll see how the market takes care of itself on Transaction Capital. Willis, I think we're going to come back and test that 61 Rand level and break back higher. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm waiting for a close above that 68.96. At which point I'll add to my position with a stop loss at 62. Let me just change the color to that. What's the stop loss around the 62 Rand level? If we can close through 68.90, it was a level from back in, old high that we had for a while ago. So above that 69.80, I believe I said correctly, it would be a 52-week high. Nice. I'm looking forward to Willie's results as well. I saw the CEO of the South African division step down, and they will not be replacing her post. I'm looking forward to the Willie's results as well. And I think Distel as well is publishing their results on Friday. I'm looking forward to the Willie's ones. Vodacom, starting to move quite nicely, but finding quite a bit of selling there around that 142 level. I think I'm going to add to my position if we can break back above that 142 level, but I'll wait to see how long this 142 level holds. If it holds for long enough, I will, enter back. I'll add to my position as we break back above that 142 level. Last is Woolies. There was quite a fair bit of selling about at the 161 level. I suppose perhaps the market not liking the CEO news. Let's see if the results will save the day. We'll see. We'll see how the market. But I don't like it when the stock starts to move like this. Quite close to the results. Could see perhaps people knowing what's coming in the results. But we'll see on Friday what's on those results. Guys, if you have questions, feel free to pop them up because that was it from me. Sapi, I have a trigger on Sapi before I forget. I have a trigger on Sapi. So the stock came back to close to hold at 250 exponential moving average. So I wanted to close above that high close there to start rebuilding my position. So I'll be buying myself 25.5 shares with the stop loss just below that low there, around the 39 level, and then add to the position again at above 45.23. That's it from me, guys. If there's no questions, I'm not seeing questions or. Thank you very much, Tyler, and thank you for coming through. Always a pleasure as well. Guys, the video will be up in a few hours. And apologies for not dropping the podcast today. Escom got in the way. But the podcast will be back up on next Wednesday. Which is asking if I ever trade forex. I'm starting to look at it again. Just but I don't generally trade forex. I don't trade markets that are continuous, and I typically don't like them. I prefer looking at the markets as we are at the moment, where the prices aren't moving. But I am starting to look into forex. I've been trading the USDs out in demo accounts and the major currencies, the euro dollar and pound, pound dollar and the like. Just to see how I'm still having troubles calculating risk and losses, working with pips and that sort of thing. But we'll see. Elvish is also asking about my automated trading. I parked it. I parked, life got in the way, and I got busy with other stuff. I parked the project for a little bit, and also partly because I don't have a Windows machine that I can run all day long to test strategies. But I think in over the next few months or so, as my life starts to get back on track. I'll write some code again. I was looking to write the 721 system for automated trading, but I'll only give out the software once I'm done for free. For of course, take it on your own risk, but to trade with it. But I'll keep you posted. Coco. Ladies and gents, I'm not seeing questions coming in. If you have a question or chat request, feel free to quickly pop it in. Otherwise, thank you for coming through again. The video, like I said, will be up on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and share the videos, man. I never ask people to do that. Once the video is up on YouTube, please share with your friends, so that other people can learn as well. Only, of course, it will help you with views and stuff. Otherwise, guys, have yourself a great evening. We'll chat again next week, Wednesday. Cheers, all.